I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome each of you here tonight. And I'd also like to call our meeting to order. And I'd like to ask you to stand for the invocation by Dr. Neal and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
If you bow your heads. Lord, we gather here tonight. We just want to publicly say out loud that we want you here with us tonight, Lord. We want to show you all the praise, Lord. Lord, we want to thank you for the children that we have here tonight, the young adults, Lord, and thank you for blessing them with the talent that you've blessed them with, Lord. Lord, we also want to thank you for the community, Lord. You've placed us in such a wonderful community that we have people who look out for our children as much as the parents, teachers, and administration does, Lord. And we sincerely thank you for community members that do things like this for us, Lord. Lord, we also want to take a moment just to thank you for keeping the power on the last couple of weeks for us, Lord. You know, there's some out there who aren't as fortunate as us, and we just wanted to make sure that they stay warm, Lord. So thank you very much for that, Lord. Please lead, guide, and direct us tonight, Lord. It's in your name that we will always pray. Amen. Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Neal. It's so good to see such a large crowd. All right. Our next item is number 4, which is approval of tonight's agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Wilson. Do I have a second?
I second.
Ms. Burgess. All those in favor, show it by the uplifted hand. Our next item is our minutes of our December the 2nd meeting. Do we have any additions or corrections to be made at this time? You were each emailed a copy. Hearing none, I need a motion so we can approve our minutes for the month.
So move to approve the minutes.
Ms. Ellison, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wilson, ready to vote? All those in favor, show it by the uplifted hand. Dr. Young, do we have any press tonight?
I do not think we have any press here with us tonight.
Will you have some
We
recognition?
definitely have some recognition, so I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Wilson. We've got several groups of folks that we want to celebrate with tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Young. We're going to start, if I can get all my cheerleaders just to kind of come around and do a U so we can get you all out here so we can speak to you. Coach, if you'll come up. Please. And we're going to try to get a picture.
Yeah, probably not.
If y'all come. These are our JV cheerleaders from Palmetto. Most of y'all know that because you're here with them. But they have won the Debbie Rogers Championship, which is basically, well, technically no, but basically it's the default state championship for cheerleading for JV. So we wanted to recognize them, let them know how proud we are. If you'll just tell us your name, we'll start with you and move around just so everybody can see who's in the room.
Carson Blackwell. I'm Kylie Heard. I'm Madison. I'm Channing Burgess. Amy Jones. Howard Ford. Abby Tiller.
Coach Brittany Shepard.
Lexi Burrows. Callie Flutie. Joey Denman. Watley Lee. Hannah Ware. Lily Patty. Chloe Gilliland. Avery Brunner. Coach Molly Snipes.
Coach Jamie Newsom.
We are extremely proud. We're going to give you this, and if we can get you guys up to take a picture, Upton, y'all come around. And we'll figure out. We're going to have to scooch. I'll let the expert tell y'all
Y'all
how
are
to do
gonna
that.
have to squeeze real tight.
I am certain the cheerleaders know how to get in.
We might have to do a pyramid.
Yeah, you turn this
Y'all
way.
don't have to make it too long.
It may not be exact, but go close. All right, y'all. You're looking right here. Thank you.
Coach Shepard, thank y'all for y'all's hard work. We're going to ask you you guys actually get up and leave, and y'all don't have to stay, because we have another group we're going to bring in and recognize. So y'all take just a minute if you would, and y'all can roll out. If you'd like to stay, you can come back in just a minute.
Hey, JB, parking lot right there. Yes. Yes, go to the parking lot. Oh, thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we got another group coming in that we're really proud of. Our second state champion. As you know, we've had this group here before. They're back again. They're going to be coming in second. But Titusville volleyball, come on in, ladies. Come on in, ladies. Thank you. Y'all come on in. This is, Coach, come on in. Congratulations. This is our, y'all just come on around. Y'all are coming up. This is our girls volleyball team who once again, for another year, state champion. I told them now we just have to own it because we're doing that. Make sure we get all our girls in here. Yeah, we definitely want to give y'all a chance. But this year, I think there was an expectation maybe that they wouldn't quite make it because who they were playing after again. But boy, what a great game it was, and what matches were fantastic, and very proud of it. But I want to make sure everybody gets in before we do this. While they're finishing coming in, if we'll start on the end, will you just tell us who you are and what you do, Coach? But what y'all do, and coaches will tell you, and then your year, what year you are.
Okay. I'm Sarah, and I'm a senior, and I'm a DS. I passed playback row.
Congratulations.
I'm Alyssa, I'm a senior, and I'm the libero.
I'm Normandy. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a DS.
I'm Yanni, I'm a sophomore, and I play.
I'm Katie, I'm a senior, and I'm a middle.
I'm Claire, and I'm a sophomore, and I'm a setter. I'm Finley, I'm a sophomore, and I'm a middle. I'm Jocelyn, I'm a sophomore, and I'm a DS.
I'm Peyton, I'm a junior, and I'm an outside. I'm Coach Cassini, and I don't do anything.
Yes. If y'all would come up.
We're here. We're
yeah,
here.
there you are. And we're going to get another picture. Congratulations.
Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you.
First off, you need to say how many.
Oh, stop.
5? 5 out of 8. You know that.
All right, everybody, look here. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Nice to see you. Good to see you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Anywhere you want. Okay. Y'all, if y'all want to head out, certainly can do that. We are fortunate to have another state champion. This is an individual state champion. Coach Wilson, Daya, come on up. This is a cross-country state champion. It's Daya Ross, and I want to make sure, Daya, you want to tell us what you won? What?
Cross country 5K.
5K.
Yes.
Fantastic. We'll make sure you have this. And we're very proud of her.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Is Seth here?
I don't know if he's here. He couldn't make it.
Okay, Coach.
Yeah.
Come on up. Skya?
Yep.
This is Coach. He is here representing Seth. He is a busy man. He's got a lot going on But we wanted to recognize Seth for his breaststroke, 100-meter breaststroke for swimming. Congratulations, if you'll make sure he gets that.
I will.
I have two other recognitions that I am very, very proud. These ladies, I got some on YouTube. These ladies have saved my bacon many times. They are God sent, they are angels. They take care of kids, they take care of staff, they take care of us. They do a lot of things for us, and anybody in the district will tell you we wouldn't be who we are as a district without folks like these. So, first of all, I want to tell you what they're here for. These two ladies are two of the first folks in the entire country to receive the National Association of Educator Translators, Interpreters of Spoken Languages National Certification. It's a high honor and it's very difficult to get. So I wanted to bring up Nye Riddle and Gabby Brady if they will come up. I'm going to let y'all get a picture of the most important folks here with us.
Thank y'all.
Congratulations, it was a great honor. I appreciate that. And Dr. Young has a recognition he would like to share at this point.
At our last board meeting, if you'll remember, I mentioned that we had a community member in Powdersville that donated over $83,000 to pay off lunch debts for our students. And she has also started, offered to start a foundation or a fund at Powdersville Middle School in honor of Clarence Curtis Hip, the Patriot Fund. Just with their generosity because of their experience they had at Powdersville Middle School. So Miss Tanya Miller, and I think she's got some other family members with her as well. If you will please come down front because this is just an incredible, just.
I'm gonna cry.
Yes. If you want to tell us who's in the picture.
It's our grandparents. This is my sister Amanda and my niece Kylan, and our grandparents started the fund. It's a charitable fund that he started, and he left me over when he passed. So I'm just trying to use it in the way that he would want us to. So we're very blessed and honored to be able to do it.
I think if all the board members would come up front for this picture, that would be appropriate. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is just incredible generosity.
Yes.
What makes our community special.
All right, y'all ready? Thank you.
And we have one more group of people we need to recognize, and that is, I know it is February the 3rd, but originally this board meeting was supposed to be in January, and January is School Board Appreciation Month. So I have a proclamation from Governor McMaster, and I'm just going to say it how I would. See I'm sorry. But whereas education is the foundation upon which the economic, intellectual, and social capital of our state is built, and whereas school boards directly influence instruction in South Carolina's public schools, and whereas the decisions of local school boards affect the present and future lives of children while setting the direction to prepare all students to be competitive in a local, state, national, and global 21st century knowledge economy, and whereas local school board members work with parents, businesses, education professionals, and other community members to represent their views and create the ideal educational vision for their public schools and students, and whereas School Board Recognition Month highlights the unique role school boards play in representing their constituents by promoting quality public education. Now therefore, I, Henry McMaster, Governor of the great state of South Carolina, do hereby proclaim January 2026 as the School Board Recognition Month. So thank you so much. I think we've got some of our Teachers of the Year. Y'all know Miss Terry, our District Teachers of the Year, and I think we've got some others that if they could introduce themselves. But y'all want to explain what's in front of them?
So I'm Kimberly Terry. I teach kindergarten at Spearman, and I'm the current Teacher of the Year, District Teacher of the Year, and this is Miss.
I'm Jennifer Shumpert, and I teach 5th grade at Powdersville Elementary School, and the current Teacher of the Year for that school.
I'm Deidre Abels. I'm the Media Specialist at West Keller Elementary, and I'm the current Teacher of the Year at West Keller.
I'm Michelle Coleman. I'm the current Teacher of the Year at Palmetto Elementary across the street, and I do intervention, and I'm the MTSS coordinator.
And we are here just to thank each of you for everything that you do for our district. And we have these gifts that are on the table for each of you with the keepsake box and a book that Ms. Shumpert is going to share. And we just want to let you guys know how much we appreciate you and all of your hard work to make our district what it is.
All right, so whereas I am going to, that's what Henry McMaster would say, but I am not going to whereas in this book. But I wanted to share a little bit about this book. So if you guys want to stand up here, you're completely fine, but also if y'all want to sit down because it is a children's book. I don't know if you ever read this book, The Kid Who Changed the World, but I think it's important enough because when the Teachers of the Year were thinking about how we wanted to recognize you guys for all of the decisions that you guys make and how much you support us as teachers, our schools, our communities, our parents, we wanted, this came to mind. And so I'm going to read it, and it's The Kid Who Changed the World. This is, just a little side note, this is based off of a true story. I was at a Christian women's conference, and this guy spoke, and he wrote this book based on what he had heard on the news report that morning about the Nobel Peace Prize. And so this is how it starts out, and then he did a little bit of research, and so it is based on a true story. It says, I want to tell you a story about the kid who changed the world. His name was Norman Borlaug. Norman lived on a farm in Iowa. He loved to play hide and seek with his little sisters in their father's cornfields. Norman was tall and skinny with hair so light it looked like the silk that sprouted from the ears of corn. Norman was very good at hiding in the cornfields. Norman tiptoed quietly so his sisters couldn't hear him. He crept along until he was just close enough to catch them. Gotcha! The girls giggled and squealed. Now you hide, Norman. Norman ran to hide in the field, careful not to knock down any corn stalks. Just yesterday, his father reminded him, you know, son, we're blessed to have all this corn. There are many people in the world who do not have enough to eat. What would it be like to be hungry all the time, Norman wondered, as he looked at the endless rows of corn. There has to be a way this corn can feed the hungry people, he thought. Right then and there, Norman decided to change the world. Norman learned everything he could about plants. When he was grown, he worked for a man named Mr. Wallace. Mr. Wallace said, Norman, I want you to use what you've learned in school to make special seeds. These special seeds will grow into super plants and feed more people than ordinary plants. To make the special seeds, Norman had to go to faraway places and work in the rain and summer heat, but he never gave up. Finally, Norman developed the special seeds that grew into super plants. Norman's special seeds of corn and wheat and rice were sent all over the world, and the super plants fed the hungry people, just like Norman dreamed about as a boy. A whole family could eat dinner from one super plant, and guess what? Norman saved more than 2 billion people from starving. 2 billion. It's true. Norman was the kid who changed the world. Or maybe it was a kid named Henry. I want to tell you a story about a kid who changed the world. His name was Henry Wallace. Henry's father was a professor, and one of his students was a young man named George. Henry loved to go with George on expeditions in the countryside. George knew more about plants than anyone Henry had ever known. Henry peered over the edge of the water to inspect a plant growing on the bank. Don't get too close to that water, Henry, George said. Your daddy will have a fit if you get eaten by a hippopotamus. Henry laughed. Hippos don't live in Iowa. I'm just trying to get a better look at this flower. You know Henry, God gave us plants as a way to learn. We can use that knowledge to help others. It's a very important mission. George, I want that to be my mission. Will you help me? Of course, Henry. God made you to make a difference, and I believe you will. Henry learned so much about plants that he grew up to be the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture. Then Henry Wallace became the Vice President of the United States of America. From that important office, Vice President Wallace, you can still call him Henry, continued his mission to learn how plants could help people. As Vice President, Henry wanted to help people around the world grow more food, so he hired a young man named Norman Borlaug. The same Norman who developed the special seeds that grew into super plants that fed the hungry people. So you see, because Henry is the one who came up with the idea of special seeds and hired Norman to make them, it was really Henry who changed the world. Or maybe it was George. I want to tell you a story about the kid who changed the world. His name was George Washington. Now, before we continue, you must know that this is not George Washington, the president. The U.S. President George Washington lived a long time before the George Washington in this story. George's father died before he was born, and his mother died when he was very young. But the good news is that a nice couple named Moses and Susan Carver adopted George and made him part of their family. Well, George, what have you got there? Asked his neighbor, Mrs. McLeod, as she plopped down on a tree stump beside the young boy. I'm whittling a crutch for my friend who hurt his ankle. Just look at you creating that from a big old tree branch. George, you've got a sharp mind and a kind heart. Thank you, ma'am, but it's not much. Won't take me too long. I'll bet your friend will be mighty grateful for that crutch. You know, George, little things can make a big difference. Everything we do matters. Every action you take, even small things, can change the world. Sure enough, George Washington Carver changed the world. He became a teacher and an inventor. For instance, he invented 266 things from the peanut that we still use today. From the sweet potato, George invented 88 things we still use today. But he did something much more important than that. When George Washington Carver was at Iowa State University, he had a teacher named Professor Wallace. Now this is when my mind just gets blown. This is not in the book, because it's like all of these connections and how this is built upon. On weekends, George would roam the fields and forest with that professor's 6-year-old son, Henry, teaching the boy about plants and how many ways they could be used to help people. So now let's see here. Norman made the seeds that grew into plants that fed the world's hungry people. But he couldn't have done it without Henry, who had the idea to make super plants and hired him. But Henry would not have had the idea without George, who spent so much time teaching young Henry about plants. So there you have it. George Washington Carver was the kid who changed the world. Wait, we forgot about his mom, Susan. It's coming to an end. I want to tell you a story about the kid who changed the world. Her name was Susan. She lived on a farm with her mom and dad way up north. Susan pulled nails out of the old barn wood while her pet rooster Buzz watched. Susan, her mother called as she walked toward her in the field. What are you doing? Well, I figured if I could get these nails out of this wood, we could reuse it for something like patching the chicken coop or building a playhouse. Thank you, Susan. Those are wonderful ideas. I'm sure Buzz will appreciate a snug home come winter, she said with a smile. He hasn't helped with a single nail, Susan giggled. You know, dear, every choice you make, good or bad, can make a difference. I'm proud of you for making a good choice today. When Susan grew up, she married a man named Moses Carver, and together with a few workers, they managed a farm. They were happy. But one night, some men tried to hurt them. Outlaws called Quattrell's Raiders rode into the farm. They burned down Susan and Moses' barn and kidnapped some of the workers. One of the people they kidnapped was a little boy named George. And it actually was George and his mom. So Susan had to do something. She and her husband searched and searched, and the family finally found young George. So this isn't in the book, but his mom was killed, but George was alive. So Moses and Susan even traded their favorite black horse in return for the little boy. That night, beside the fireplace, as Susan rocked that baby, she told George that they would adopt him. Susan also promised to give the boy their name. As the baby drifted off to sleep, Susan whispered, "Good night, little George Washington Carver." So, if Susan and Moses hadn't saved George from the outlaws, George wouldn't have grown up to take Henry on walks in the forest. Then Henry wouldn't have become interested in plants and later hired Norman. Without Henry's idea, Norman wouldn't have developed the special seeds that grew into super plants. And without the super plants, 2 billion people would have nothing to eat. It's odd, isn't it? Every time something happens, something else happens. That's called the butterfly effect. When a butterfly flaps its wings, it moves tiny pieces of air that moves tiny pieces of air that move other tiny pieces of air. In fact, on the other side of the world, they might be feeling a big whoosh of wind, all because a butterfly flapped its wings here just a few minutes ago. That means every little thing you do matters. What you did yesterday, what you do today, what you do tomorrow. God made your life so important that every move you make, every action you take matters. And not only for you or the people around you. Everything you do matters for everyone and for all time. When you think about it like that, wow, that means you can be the kid who changes the world. And so as we think about this, it's like we're out teaching these students, and our students are doing incredible things as we've just witnessed here, but we wouldn't be able to do it without the support of you guys. So Melissa Tollis's stepdad made these boxes for you guys. And then inside there is a print of a butterfly, and it has one of the quotes from the book as does the book. So we just want to appreciate and thank you guys for everything you do, because it does matter.
And thank y'all for coming, because teachers like you make our job easy. I mean, because y'all are the best. So thank you.
We normally have a whole bunch of teachers, but because of the weather and everything like that, we told Carol to have our teachers come at the next board meeting. But Ms. Brady does have one person here that we'd like to introduce.
We do. And I promise you we'll have a whole bunch of teachers in late February. As you all know, Dr. Wilson announced his retirement earlier, and I want to just say how much we wish him the very best. I've certainly enjoyed working with Dr. Wilson, and I appreciate everything he's done for Anderson One. We are.
I really appreciate him today, and I'll tell you why when we get to the construction update.
We are very excited to recommend Dr. Kyle Whitfield to move into the Assistant Superintendent of Administration position. And Dr. Whitfield has been a very successful principal for us in Anderson One, and we certainly welcome him as a part of our district office staff. I'm sure he has something to say. He always does. And I know he has his lovely family with him too.
I do. We'll get to them in a minute. If that's okay. But yeah, I just want to express how appreciative I am and honored and humbled for this opportunity. Ms. Upton, if I can steal some words from you, I've worked in 2 districts. This being my 3rd. I've been here for 10 years. And you always talk about this being the best school district in the state. And over the past 10 years, I've lived it. I've experienced it. And I love this district. This district's my home. I hope to stay here as long as y'all keep me. And I just appreciate you all tremendously. I've known other school districts and other school boards, and you guys do a phenomenal job. You're always thinking of our students, our parents, our teachers, and I just appreciate y'all tremendously, and thank y'all for this opportunity. It means a lot to me. I want to thank some other people. That's okay. I want to thank Dr. Young. I'm going to try to keep him humble, and
good luck.
But I do appreciate you, Dr. Young. I believe in your vision of 15 excellent schools. I think the best is yet to come in our district, and I think you're doing a great job. And I was not solicited to say that. I want to thank Ms. Brady. You've been a tremendous mentor to me. I can't say enough about how you poured into me over the years, and just think the world of you. I'm gonna come back to you in a minute. I promise. Mr. Moore, I look forward to working with you. I think you're doing a great job. Travis, I would say I look forward to working with you, but we both know you're looking forward to retirement, so that's fine. But Dr. Wilson, you've known me for a long time. My Anderson 5 days when I was in the classroom and coaching and trying to figure out what the heck I was doing, and you've always been very supportive of me and poured into me over the years, and I look forward to working with you and transitioning into this role, and I'm going to do my very best in this position. So, I do look forward to working with you. But I guess I should mention the most important people here. So I've got my wife Autumn right here. She really is the brains behind the operation. A funny thing I was thinking about today, and I'll be quiet with it, you'll probably want me to shut up, but 10 years ago when I was interviewing for the assistant principalship at
Ren High, I remember interviewing with David Havard, and I went in there and I told Mr. Havard that my wife told me not to screw this up because she really wanted me to be at Anderson 1, and she gave me similar advice going into this interview as well. So she's always been very wise. I've got my 2 sons here. Hayden is my senior. Normally he's dressed a little nicer. He's coming from basketball practice, so I give him a pass. And he's also a maintenance worker over the summer. So he's going to work really, really hard this summer, I assure you. And he may not get a lunch break, Miss Brady. We'll see how things go. So, I don't know
You're not
yet.
charge personnel.
And then I've got my youngest right here, Bryson. He's unfortunately over there. I know you got to put up with him every day. I'm sorry, but no, he's a great young man too. He does. That's the thing. All their good qualities definitely come from their mom, and then also my mom is here, Wanda Whitfield. She's retired from Anderson School District 5 as well, and I wouldn't be the man I am today without my mom. And she's, Lord knows, she's had to put up with a lot over the years. But and my dad couldn't be here tonight. This is a true story. I'm gonna pick on real quick, and I'll be quiet. But he had attended the Toolman Taylor incident and broke his finger, and apparently. He can't you have to have 10 functional fingers to get ready, I guess. So he couldn't get ready with his 900 fingers, so he couldn't be here tonight. We'll give him a pass.
That's being live streamed on.
But once again, thank you all for this opportunity. I'm going to work tirelessly for our schools. So thank you.
Thank you, you are in the best school district.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Glad to have you and your family here. Okay.
Next.
You know, you're free to leave.
Yeah. Teachers of the year and everybody else.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Unless you want to hear about it.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Just go to that Facebook page and hit the link.
Thank you. Y'all want to read aloud. Good job.
Good thing I touched my app and not reading. Yes.
Next we'll do the financial report.
Okay.
I know it's February. Travis and I were confusing each other earlier. But you have them on your December tab. So you have your December accounts for all the local accounts. As you review those, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Mr. Thomas or me, and we can get you answers to those as soon as possible. One thing I will say, I know we had some questions over the summer about the athletic accounts and ticket revenue. I don't know if you saw the realignment, but Wren, Powdersville, and Palmetto are all back in the same region along with BHP. So that will help with some ticket sales, especially for Powdersville and Palmetto, because those are some guaranteed big gates right there, and they were able to fill out other things with out of conference. So it would be great to have all 3 schools back in the same region. And then
Who else is in that region besides those 3?
it's those 3: BHP, Emerald, and Legacy Charter School in Greenville is the 6th school in the region. Next, on the blue papers, you see our investment funds. We currently have 50 CDs, a little over $11.3 million invested. During the month of December, we had over $298,000 of interest, almost $299,000. On the third page, you see all the different investment accounts. On the following page, you see the backup for account 1, 2, and 3. And the next page is back up to 4. Next is back up to 5. And then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Thomas for the local option sales tax report.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Young. That is Subfund 515. And I did want you to let you know that that's September tax collections that we received in the month of December. With that being said, Anderson County as a whole received in a little more than $3.5 million. Anderson 1's percentage of that is 33.91%, and that generated $1,191,000. 20% of that goes directly to property tax relief, which was $238,000. and the remaining 80% is for capital use that we actually received, $953,000. Below that, you can see the beginning fund balance at $20.2 million, and the ending fund balance as of December 31st, $20,998,000. And at the bottom of the page, you can see the recent projects that are ongoing that are listed below there. All right, the following page is Subfund 502, and that's our building program. And we just kept a running tally of this whole thing. Total revenue, $56.1 million, and total expenses so far at $52.6 million, and that leaves our current building program balance at $5.3 million. Also, at the bottom of the page, you can see the completed projects on the right-hand side, and the left has the projects that are still ongoing. Of course, Oak Hill, and then playgrounds going on. Next report is our revenue report for school board. This is also for the month of December. Revenue received for the month, $10,264,000, and then total revenue received year to date, $48,796,000, which puts us at 40% of budget so far collected. And next is our final report, expenditure report for school board, also for the month of December. And it's a 2-pager, so the second page has our totals, expenses for the month, $9.7 million, and then total expenses year to date, $51.8 million, which puts us at 43% of our budget. That's all I have, Dr. Young, unless there's any questions.
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. I'm sorry, Michael.
I'll just remind me when we, the local option sales tax
is up for renewal. The first time we'd be eligible to put that on the ballot would be in 2028. It has to be in a general election year. So it goes through 2030. So 2028 would be the first time we would need to work with the other districts to put that back on ballot. It has to be on a general election November ballot, either 28 or 2030.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
The other thing that's in your packet to review, please let us know if you have any questions. The financial report is from Ms. Ashley, the semi-annual minority business emergency and sole source purchase pages for you to review. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Moore for the instructional report.
Thank you, Dr. Young. Good evening. I do have a brief instructional report and update for you, but also just an opportunity for me to also just echo the thanks and appreciation to our board for your support. I'm going to share a quote with you from Simon Sinek that says, "The leadership is responsibility to make those around you rise." And I really think that our school board through the years has allowed our instructional program to rise and continue to improve thanks to your leadership. So I'm grateful as the instructional leader for you. I want to give you a quick update about professional learning. And as we always share with people, professional development, professional learning is research-based. Quality professional development yields good results, according to a lot of research, including research from John Hattie. So we like to engage our teachers in professional learning throughout the year. So I want to just give you a quick update. We provided some information to you about letters, and this is ongoing throughout the state of South Carolina in the science of reading. And one thing that I'm proud to say is we've had our first cohort complete all of the 2 volumes, 8 units of letters, and I'll show you a picture of them in a moment. And then after the 13th of February, 13th of March, over 98% of our K-5 teachers, as well as special education teachers, will be trained in letters and receiving their supplement from the state, and we're really proud of that work. Our teachers, I wish that they were still here, have done such an incredible job navigating that additional workload in learning, but also utilizing that learning in the classroom. This is the first cohort that just wrapped up all of letters training, And I just had to share that Ellen Weaver, our State Superintendent of Education, was very proud of those folks too. So we're really, just speaking of leadership, these folks really led the way for letters training and letters implementation in our district, and I'm grateful for them. I want to just update you on middle and high school since I spoke about elementary. We continue with Leader in Me. As a matter of fact, those February, March professional development days will be Leader in Me learning days and professional development for our 3 high schools. And we also like to get outside the 4 walls, if you will, of Anderson School District 1 to continue to expand our horizons and think about what's next for our district. So I'm happy to share with you that we're taking a group of leaders and teachers at the high school level to Stevenson High School. It's a premier high school about 35 minutes north of Chicago. To observe their practices, their procedures, and how they implement things collaboratively. And then also, we're going to Lincoln Heights Middle outside of Knoxville, and I don't know why it says TV, clearly that's in Tennessee. They are a DeFore winning school, so they're well known for how they use data to inform instruction. And so we're going to take a group of middle school leaders and teachers there, and this is all happening in the next couple of months. And then we continue to bring our high school folks together to collaborate with those 4 ESC areas. As a matter of fact, we have English 2 folks getting together this Thursday to continue to work together. And then I'm happy to announce to you, so we have what we call the Connect Ed Conference. And Kristen Hearn was here earlier. I'll brag on Kristen and her team of digital learning coaches. We have a Connect Ed Conference in the spring that is virtual. So we record sessions, and then people can log in at their opportunity, their perusal, to be able to locate those sessions and observe those and participate in those and get credit for it. Dr. Young and I are going to co-present on leadership. We're excited to do that. And then we are actually going to have an in-person, what I call old school Anderson 1 Connect Ed conference, where our teachers and our leaders are actually leading sessions and then able to choose. So they'll have some choice-driven professional development on that day, July 31st. And just as a bit of a teaser, we are also bringing in a pretty nationally known, well-respected educational consultant, author, and speaker that day to work with us. And I think even better is through partnerships, through donations, that's going to be paid for. And so that's just something we're excited to share. Of course, we'll let the board know more about that as we continue to plan. So obviously a lot of good learning and professional development continuing in our district to make us better, so we're not just satisfied with the status quo. And that's all I have.
Any questions for Mr. Moore?
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Thinking about the letters training.
Yes, ma'am.
We just talked about that was supposed to be state funded. Does this, where we've got our sole source report, the Lexia Voyager so free, $67,840, letter state required program, what did we fund?
So the state funded K through 3, and then for 4 and 5, we get paid for some additional training sessions and some of the materials for 4th and 5th grade.
How many teachers was that?
Oh gosh, Ms. Burgess, I'll have to total up and get you an accurate count so I don't misspeak, and I'll be glad to do that. The state is funding the $500 supplement for those teachers. So that's kind of where we met in the middle with the state.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Okay, we're ready next for our student nutrition report.
Chair, Ms. Green.
Thank you, Dr. Young. You have our student nutrition services report there for your review. I did want to note that there is a proposal from Governor Henry McMaster when he released his executive budget for 26-27, which would fund free breakfast for all of our students. So that is something that we'll continue to monitor and see if that goes through. Are there any questions?
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Young. Item D.
Next is the administration report, and there were 2 policies that Dr. Wilson shared with you last time. And so, I'm not sure what it is. But they are for second reading. You have policy ECAAA, the threat assessment, and then AR ECAAR, which is the attachment for the threat assessment. It's the actual documentation that our counselors use for when students exhibit any kind of threat to themselves or others. And this has been vetted by our mental health counselors. Andy Martin, who works really closely with our counselors, has really been involved with this. Any questions about this policy?
So we need to just go ahead and vote on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We did consider this last month. Do I have a motion that we accept the policies ECAAA and then ARECAAA-R? I need a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Wilson, do I have a second? Ms. Ellis, any discussion? Ready to vote? All those in favor, please show by the uplifted hand.
Got just a few things I'll quickly go through about safety and construction. The first thing with our safety update, I just wanted to highlight just your support and thank you for working as we and being attentive as we navigated the weather the last couple of weeks. Like Dr. Neal mentioned, just thankfully our community for the most part, we didn't have any power outage issues or anything like that. But right now, in case you would be asked, we've used 4 e-learning days. The state allows us to use up to 5, so we have one more that we could use should another winter storm hit or anything like that. Hopefully we are done with winter weather for this season. But I just wanted to thank emergency management and DOT, especially this second time. They were extremely helpful with some back roads. That's a picture of Mr. Jason Leslie, the principal at Spearman. And that is not at Spearman Elementary School. That is at a 4-way stop intersection. Miss Upton actually drives that 4-way stop when she's taking her grandkids to and from school. And that was basically an ice skating rink, the first ice storm. But he was out there chiseling away, busting up the ice, and a neighbor sent that picture to me and just wanted me to know what Mr. Leslie was doing, not at his school, but down the road. And I just wanted to highlight that. But our emergency management, our maintenance department, the custodians, our administrators, they really went above and beyond just to make sure that our buildings were ready for students to return to school and staff to return to school, marking off areas that were still slick. I know Dr. Wilson and I were out and about checking the roads, and just a lot of effort went to make sure that we were able to get back to school. And I think things went really well with our 2-hour delay today and getting back to a normal schedule tomorrow. Construction, I wanted to let you know that we got our final numbers in from Concrete Elementary budget. We budgeted $4 million when we voted to approve those renovations last spring. The final cost after we did all the punch lists and everything ended up being almost $3.7 million. So we total saves are about $300,000 from what we budgeted, and this is due to Andy Finley's diligence and just the work with Triangle, but we came in at 7.5% under budget, so that's money that we're able to use for other projects, just to continue doing some things with construction up in that part of the district. The other things that we reviewed in October are capital improvement plan. Just want to let you know where we are on a few projects. The Palmetto High bleachers, we just went through the bid process for that. It came in much lower than we originally put into the budget, so we're excited about that, and that is still going to have press box on the visitor side, so real excited about that update to that stadium. I think that those are still the original visiting bleachers from back in the day when that school was built, so that'll be a nice safety upgrade. The Powdersville High School band tower needed to be replaced. It was an old wooden tower, so we're going to have a much safer option for those students. Roofing projects, we completed a big project at Powdersville Mill over Christmas break, and we're starting to make plans for the big projects we'll do this summer. HVAC projects, we just got the drawings for West Pelzer and Powdersville Middle for what we'll be doing there this summer. And then playgrounds, Hunt Meadows, Palmetto Elementary, we mentioned that, and then also want to mention Cedar Grove. We're working with them to partner. They've been raising some money to update their early childhood playground as well. So when we were able to do that together, we were able to get a better price for those three, and we'll have those ready to go by the beginning of school next year. Oak Hill, we have notified our staff about where they're going to be working next year. Ms. Brady and Ms. Tollison and the administrators did a great job navigating those conversations. Road construction permits have finally been issued. We got the approval from DHEC and all the ins and outs. Thank you, Mr. Cox, for his help with that. We have been communicating with our families this week, and that's why I really said I'm very thankful for Dr. Wilson today. A lot of questions coming in, but families got the official, even though we publicized the attendance lines last summer, we sent a letter just to make sure we were clear about where our elementary families would be sending their kids to school next year. So that has gone out. We've had some conversations and questions, but most of those conversations have ended very, very positively, people understanding. Furniture has been ordered. I want to thank Ms. Durham for her help with this, but her and Susan Ashley were able to really work with Ms. Horn. We had a certain amount budgeted for furniture for Oak Hill, and they worked hard to make sure that we came in well under budget. So every third, fourth, and fifth grade teacher that is moving from Powdersville Elementary to Concrete is going to have new furniture in their classroom when they move. And every kindergarten, first, and second grade teacher that is moving from Concrete to Powdersville Elementary is going to have new furniture. So any teacher that's having to shift around, we're going to have new furniture. So we're real excited to get that, and we're still under what we had budgeted for our furniture. So very, very, very excited about that. And again, that's that local option sales tax is helping pay for all this stuff that you mentioned. Because the family communication has gone out here at the end of January, I wanted to just take a moment and just remind everybody, in case you were to get questions, just kind of how we came up with our attendance lines and what we did. Highlighted in green is Three Bridges Road, and highlighted in blue is Highway 81. I think those are two main corridors through the Powdersville attendance zone that we really relied on to be natural barriers. So that's a zoomed in picture of the final attendance line for Concrete. Obviously, there's a lot more. The red is Powdersville Elementary. It goes that way. And then this is Elrod, and it goes all the way down to the Saluda River, down River Road, into Piedmont. But right there in the middle, between Three Bridges Road and 81, is where we had to make some decisions about exactly where do the lines need to fall. So, just as a reminder, Highway 81, if your neighborhood has an entrance on Highway 81, you're going out to 81, you're just going to go right across 81. It's less than a mile and a half away to get to Oak Hill Elementary School. If your neighborhood dumps out on the Three Bridges Road, you're right there. You just go up Three Bridges Road and you're going to go into Concrete. We really, really tried hard to limit the families crossing the big highway that goes right through Powdersville, Highway 153. There are a handful of folks that will go right across River Road that live on that end of 153 that will go to Oak Hill, but the main things that we've gotten questions about are along Highway 81 and Three Bridges Road, so I wanted to make sure that we were just reminded on how we came to those decisions. That just as a reminder, all three elementary schools, to get from Powdersville Elementary to Concrete is less than a mile and a half when you just go right down the road, and to get from Concrete to Oak Hill is less than 2 miles. They're all very, very close together. That's just where the land was. So as you get questions about why do I live right here, it's really convenient to get in and out of this one school, why am I zoned here when I live right along Highway 81, we just had to make a decision. We really wanted to make sure that we allowed room for growth in both attendance zones. If you remember, right when we were voting last summer, there was a massive neighborhood that's been approved. It's right here off of Three Bridges Road that's going in. There's several other neighborhoods that have been approved that are going to be zoned for Concrete, so we had to leave room for those families to have room to send their elementary school. There are several developments out on this part that are going to be going to Oak Hill, so we anticipate over the next several years, Oak Hill their enrollment will go up quite a bit. And then out here, there are lots of houses being built that will be zoned for Powdersville Elementary. But just wanted to give you a refresher on how we landed there in case you were to get questions. Again, if you have families reach out to you with questions about certain things, please direct them to Dr. Wilson or myself. I'm happy to have conversations. There have been some questions about robotics or archery or different extracurricular activities. And we understand as we're kind of building up 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade at Concrete and starting from scratch at Oak Hill, that the robotics team at Powdersville Elementary, this is just an example, the robotics team is established, and the teacher that's been doing robotics has done grants for several years, and they host competitions. So we're going to have shuttles that allow students to stay involved in those types of programs and work together with the 3 schools. They're going to do their 5th grade field trip together next year, so those students can get together. They're going to do some things with the high school during homecoming and make sure that the 3 groups are able to get their students together. They're going to do like the 5th grade dance together so that they can just continue to have that camaraderie as they get ready to transition to be back together for 6th grade at Powdersville Middle. I think they're really working well together, and as we've said over and over again, we've got awesome teachers at Powdersville Elementary and at Concrete. And those are the same individuals that are going to be teaching, no matter if you're at Concrete, Powdersville, or Oak Hill. It's the same great teachers. They're still going to work together. They're still going to be collaborating together. We just had to create some space so we had room to have them in the building and work together. Some construction pictures. These are the 2 playgrounds at Oak Hill. The one on the left is the main playground. This one in the center is for 4K and some of their special needs. It's got ADA equipment on it. I took this picture this morning. They started pouring the terrazzo in the main entryway. I figured since other people had tracked dirt on it, it was okay for me to be there. So I don't know if I was supposed to be there or not. And they don't have security cameras yet, so it was somebody else that walked through there. But I guess I'm on camera now, so it's out there. And then the other thing I took a picture of is the elevator. It has just been a big giant hole, but now they've started to put some of those little finishing touches in that you can really see what's going to be. Last thing I wanted to share with the board is this is the bench that is right at the front of Oak Hill. And this is just a reminder, Mr. Moochie Merritt got us connected with Miss Donna Smith, who had the original foundation of the original Oak Hill School on her property. So this is the brick from the foundation of the original Oak Hill that has been repurposed into this bench. And just a subtle touch that I think is really cool is you kind of see how some of these bricks are angled together and the way that's done. Andy Finley said he worked with the mason that did that. That is something that was indicative of the 1920s and 30s. Like that style of brickwork was the way they did it, indicative of the time period. So the bench is made from the original brick from the original school when they did it in the style that the brick would have been done in back during that time. So that was really, really neat. So that's where we are with the Oak Hill and the upcoming transition in that community. And again, just thank you to Ms. Brady and Ms. Tollison for working with the staff. Thank you to the administrators for how they've handled everything. And if you get questions, Dr. Wilson and myself are happy to talk with folks about any questions they have about their attendance zones for next year.
Thank you, Dr. Young. Any questions? I love going up now when I'm going to work and you just see so much of the new school and all, so.
It sits nicely on that hill.
It does.
Again, y'all let me know when you want to take a tour. It was a little bit slippery today with some of the ice and the mud. You got to be careful on the ice and stuff.
I know, I just want a little warmer. And I'm ready to go. I understand that, Dr. Young. So.
Some of these people don't know that the superintendent slipped on the ice, do they?
No, they don't, but I can let them know that there's a video of it. Okay, thank you. Our next item is item F, and that's consideration to go in executive session to review the superintendent's contract and discuss the property matter, and we will need a motion for our executive session.
So moved.
Mr. Wilson, do I have a second?
Second.
Dr. Neal, all those in favor, show it by the uplifted hand. And that is unanimous, and thank you all. I'd like to report there was no action taken in executive session.
Ms. Upton, I'd like to make a motion that we extend Dr. Young's contract through June 30th, 2028.
Okay, you've heard Mr. Wilson's recommendation. I will need a second. Ms. Burgess, any discussion? Ready to vote? All those in favor, show it by the uplifted hand. So that will extend it until June the 30th, 2028. And our next item is personnel.
All right, turn over to Ms. Brady.
Well, as you know, we brought Dr. Whitfield here this evening to recommend him for the Assistant Superintendent of Administration. We also had 2 teacher recommendations, 1 special ed teacher and 1 early childhood teacher, and 1 transfer, 4 retirements, and 6 resignations. I would like to take this time to thank y'all for all of your support of our hiring and our employees and the ability to hire early. Makes a huge difference for Anderson One, and I just appreciate all the support. Y'all do such a wonderful job, so thank you.
Thank you for bringing us good candidates, you and Ms. Brooke. I mean, y'all do outstanding.
Thank you.
Okay, you've heard Ms. Brady's recommendation. Do I have a motion that we accept our personnel recommendations?
I do so.
Dr. Mills, second by Ms. Olson. We're ready to vote. All those in favor, please show it by the uplifted hand. And our last item we'll adjourn is to adjourn, and don't forget to sign the ethics principle sheet up here before you leave. Do you have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, we adjourn.
Ms. Elson, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please stand.